Yesterday, Donald Trump did not have a good day. The jury started deliberating. They asked a bunch of questions. I've got my TV right here watching what's happening right now. And the Trump team is not on solid footing. Donald Trump himself is freaking out on Truth Social. I've already talked about that. He also freaked out on Fox News hosts who are, I think, reading the tea leaves. They're seeing the lay of the land. They know that it's likely Donald Trump is going to be prosecuted. Some of them, not all. But the straight news reporter, Shannon Bream, and I use that term very, very loosely. I need large animated air quotes here to say straight news person, because she absolutely puts her thumb on the scale and editorializes often relative to her coverage of Trump and other matters of the Republican Party and conservatism in America. But Donald Trump freaked out on her. I deliberated on whether to play the clip first or read the post on Truth Social, and I decided it's best if you hear from Donald Trump that he's so angry, he's so upset, he's mocking her, he's being just the dick that he is. And then we're going to play and you'll see how reasonable she was in the clip and that there's no justification for him to freak out. So here's the post on Truth Social from yesterday at 4:53 p.m. I never knew Shannon Bream was so naive in her interview with my representative, Alina Habba. Let's pause there. Donald Trump, bring it in, brother. What you never knew could fill voluminous amounts of books, encyclopedias filled with the information that you never knew. You are stupid. Go ahead. With my representative. Notice he's not calling her the lawyer anymore. My attorney, my lawyer. It's my representative, Alina Habba. Shannon just suggested that crooked Joe Biden was not involved in my show trial. How stupid, he says in all caps with an exclamation point. Not only is he involved, he is virtually leading it. Virtually? Do you mean like virtually from a remote location? Or do you mean, it's virtually? Ultimately, that's what he's doing. It's hard to tell. Donald Trump doesn't speak his native tongue very well. And all of the other trials with a capital T as well. Meaning his people, because he's not mentally sharp enough to lead anything. See? The criticisms are starting to resonate. They're starting to change the way they talk about it because Joe Biden can't be simultaneously unfit because of his lacking cognition and also the ringleader of a wide-ranging conspiracy against Donald Trump. The two things cannot exist at the same time, and they're starting to change their messaging. Meanwhile, his people, because he's not mentally sharp enough to lead anything, just take a look at the DOJ/White House thugs involved and everything else. Just look at this and everything else. Biden is incompetent, but also a conspiracy mastermind, and feels that weaponization with a capital W, so you know it's serious, is the only way he can win. He's counting on the Shannon Breams of the world, with a capital W, to get him out here. Bad day for Shannon, he says. You know what's a bad day is when I plug this in to write, these are my notes for this particular video. It's just his tweet or his post and then another post. And then I'm going to play the video next. Here, Shannon Bream with Alina Habba. And when I plug this into Microsoft Word, it is just riddled with like, oh my God, what are you doing? You got to correct this. This is a nightmare. Anyway, a peek behind the curtain. So here's that clip. Here's what set Donald Trump off. Here's what had him lose his mind. And you would expect it to be Shannon Bream really laying it on thick in some defense of Biden, some normal way that Fox would react for a conservative or a Republican, but doing it for Joe Biden. That's what you would expect. That's not what happened, though. Watch this clip to witness what set Donald Trump off in this post.
and saying, whoa, this is not America. This is very un-American, and we can't survive another 4 years of this. So if you want to look at it that way, sure, but I don't think countries need to hit rock bottom. I don't understand why we couldn't have continued on an upward trajectory of American morals, of the Constitution. I'm not sure why we had to hit this low point, to be honest, but if that's what gets President Trump back in office.
But you know, when you talk about things like morals, people will say, this is a case about a former president, somebody who was running for president, paying off a porn star who alleges that she had a relationship with him. I mean, that sparks a whole nother conversation about morality, who's running the country. Obviously, voters in 2016, it was not a problem, or they factored in what they knew about the Access Hollywood tape and other things, and they were comfortable sending President Trump to the White House. Yeah. They've had 4 years to think about the way he performed, now 4 years of President Biden. But some of them will always now have this vision with President Trump that these kinds of dramas and things will be just part of his package, part of what comes with him as president.
That was not a justification for the misspelled, miscapitalized nonsense that spewed forth on Truth Social. That was stating facts. That was actually asking journalistic questions. And Alina Habba there, oh, the moral, we were on a moral ascent in the country, or whatever she said. It wasn't quite that verbose, but this is where we are with the Republican Party. This is where we are in America. This is where we are defending our democracy from the likes of these people. And Shannon Bream has a brief moment of lucidity, and Donald Trump freaks out, because that is where we are also, is that any step out of lockstep with defending the dear leader, anything that's even remotely a representation of reality, will bring you down. It'll bring the ire of the cult leader. He also posted this just an hour and 7 minutes later at 6 p.m. Neil Cavuto and Shannon Bream should team up to do a show with a capital S together. The ratings with a capital R wouldn't be good because they're anti-MAGA, but it's not all about the ratings, again with a capital. I think he thinks ratings is a capitalized word. But it's not all about the ratings, says Donald Trump, who lies about his ratings, who lies about his crowd sizes, who lies about all of these metrics, even the polls. It's not important. It's just another chance to mock Neil Cavuto, who's not some liberal. He's not some Democrat. And neither is Shannon Bream. This is just evidence that if you step out of line for even a brief moment to acknowledge the reality of this situation on the ground, you are cast aside. You are a traitor to Donald Trump. It's not about truth, which is the big joke here, that he's posting this on Truth Social. Anyway, disgusting. And I'd love to know what you think. We can talk about it in the comments. You can call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can email me, as always, daily at dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. If you appreciate what I do and you want to help me do this, you want to help me make these videos, you can do it for $2 a month. Click the join button below, become a channel member. Again, $2 a month. You can go to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast, $2 a month. Thank you very much for just considering it. If there's somebody else out on this platform or another platform that does more for you, somebody has a Substack that you love, and you only have so much money to support, use that money to support them. But if I am that guy, if I am that commentator for you, I would appreciate considering it very much. Follow me on social media. I'm at Dollemore. I'd love to see you there, and I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.